Okay, so another one of these sort of content creator gaming, basically Linux videos to get Linux sort of working for you. I mean, I've done loads of these videos where I've done installations and you can see how it works out of the box. But once you've got it out of the box and you've got it installed, you need to do some stuff. So what we're going to do with this video is we're going to go through, we're going to use OBS, I'm going to launch a game, I'm going to put an AI on there, and then we're going to use DaVinci Resolve, we're going to make a video, and then use the AI. So what we're going to do first of all is I'm just going to show you around. If you've not used Mint before, it's brilliant. It's a very, very good operating system. Everything's really familiar to you, like pop-up thing, Windows 10 type world, but let's not mention Windows 10 again. And I've installed DaVinci Resolve. Now, I'll put a link in the description as to how you do this. I've written a script that's really easy. Download it. It's from Dropbox somewhere. Download it. You put the, I'll show you. You put in your downloads folder, you put your DaVinci Resolve download. I'll put the studio, we'll talk about that in a second. And then you put the script next to it, you just run that script and it will seamlessly install DaVinci Resolve for you, no problems whatsoever. If it does, just one, because it just did it to me. If it does sort of crash halfway through, just rerun it, because sometimes it can't you get like HTTPS errors. It's not the script, it just can't find the files online. So run it again, it'll go, okay. So anyway, so let's have a look. I've got Steam installed, which is one of the big pivotal parts of why Linux has become such a big deal. Because obviously you can game on it, really. You can play Windows games much better sometimes much better on Linux than you can actually on Windows, because you're sort of like starting, your overheads are so much lower on Linux that then you do the translation layer of Proton in between, and then you play the game with probably an AMD card. You're going to get some improvement in performance. NVIDIA's a bit slower. This is an NVIDIA setup, by the way. But yeah, so Steam's great. So, I'm going to launch Homeworld Remastered. So I've just put on there a great classic game. We'll just have a quick look at it, just you can see how quickly, it plays if it launches. Here we go. So we just put the original Homeworld, play that. I'll just show you it playing for a minute. But, there's a lot, tens of thousands, and most AAA titles. You can get on the anti-cheat's a bit of a problem, but not too bad. Let's do single versus CPU, random, start. And this is in 4K, runs fine, runs amazing. There we go. My ship's appearing. The mothership takes you back. So there you go. So
mothership.
There you go. You can play games. It's brilliant.
Destroy enemy motherships.
Play this because it's such a good game. Not sure about number 3, but the original was just fantastic. What's going on? All the ships going out of here. Let's get out of here. Exit to main menu. Exit to Windows. No. Exit to Linux. There we go. We're out of there. Okay, so games done. Just quickly fire up Steam. You need to do a few settings in that, settings. So when you get it, you've got compatibility. I've got, I think, a G Proton running, but you could just use the default Proton, fine. Extra thing, Glorious Egg Roll Proton, a bit more for plays a few more games. But when you get into this, you just do the default ones first of all, then you can start to experiment with it. So let's close that down. Exit Steam. So getting software onto Linux, onto Mint is super simple. You've got Software Manager over here, and you can install software. So I've installed OBS, which is now currently on OBS, and then basically you can put Blender, all this software you want. I put another thing on there called Alpaca, which is a front end. Come to why I'm going to do that in a minute. Alpaca chats with AI models. Put that on there, and basically what you need to do with that, bit of codey bits here. So go to just type Olama. You need a thing called Olama installed, and it's super simple. You just go click download, gives you a line of code, you copy it, go up here, pop it into your terminal window there, and you run it. And I think I did a screen cap of what you should see. Here we go, pictures, and then you only get this. So that all rumbles in, comes down and starts. Detects I've got an NVIDIA GPU, and off it goes. Then it's running. So what you can do is you can fire up Alpaca, and we'll just quickly look at it before we go into anything else. Well, it's in programming. Launch. So it's like a front end. You can download. I've got a 16 gig card. You need a 16 gig card to do this, really, NVIDIA card. So now it's sort of running in the background. You can click in here and then click available models, and you can download all the models. Obviously you want something about 14 gig because it'll fit in GPU memory. So handily, a very good one is 14 gig, which is this, the ChatGPT OSS, which is the one that they released. There's two models of this. There's an enormous 120 billion parameter module 65, but that 20 billion, that fits in the memory. So what you can then do, once you've got it, it will appear here. Hang on, add it. Shows you the tool, got Olama 2 and that. And from the drop-down menu at the top, you choose which one you want to use. So I'm going to use that. Explain quantum physics in simple terms. I click that. Now, it's going to load it into the model into video RAM. So this takes a little bit of time. But once it's in video RAM, it's super quick. So you've got like a good chat model on your desktop, super simple, totally free. So, I mean, one of the big things is we've got into now is everybody subscribes to Claude, you're subscribed to ChatGPT, it's like Netflix, Disney, Hulu, and all the subscriptions you end up having. And there's a couple of ways to get around doing those big subscriptions. So still getting the power of AI. Here we go. It's going to do quantum physics for me. It's basically, you can easily use a thing called Grok, which is great, which you could interface with this. Grok charges you per token, and it's cheap, and you've got very powerful models. Or you can do it yourself. So you just need a 16 gig card. I mean, 5060 Ti, 400 quid, 300 quid, I don't know. Sadly, AMD card's a bit lacking, but you can do it with the ROCm. So there you go. So this thing's banging out all about quantum physics. So there's AI. So I've got, get rid of that. So I've got games, I've got some AI. Now let's talk about, I need a Photoshop replacement. And there's a brilliant Photoshop replacement you can use called Photopea. There it is. Now, so basically, this is basically an online Photoshop. It's free, but then you can pay a full $5 a month to have it without advertising. Which is like, if you're like me who get fleeced every month by Adobe for their creative tools, then agree and proceed. Then basically, I'm going to just click on there, make something. So you've got advertising over here, right? So you can get rid of that. So if you go up to my account, you've got a $5 version. So I pay like about £100 a month for all my Adobe stuff. I think it's crazy. No ads, AI credits, more history steps, and you get 5 gig in the cloud. But if you look around this, let me get rid of that. I mean, you've got layers, you've got everything you think you need here, filters. I mean, some of the AI tools from Adobe are missing, but you didn't have them 2 years ago. You should be able to do anything without AI, with art, shouldn't you? So there you go. So there's your Photoshop replacement. There's also another tool which is totally free again, but there's a few steps to get this, which is a thing called GIMP, which is basically an image manipulation program. You can download another thing which you can plumb over the top, which is called PhotoGIMP. Now what this does, not GIMP, I've got the wrong one on, there it is. So this is the patch that goes over GIMP and makes it more like Photoshop. So that's again free. So you can use that, or you can use Photopea in the cloud. So now you've got graphics covered. There's another thing called Inkscape, which is great for vector. If you want to do that, Inkscape. Yeah, vector graphics editor, fantastic. Obviously, vectors look amazing. So you can do all sorts. So there's tons of free stuff to get you going on this. But I mean, obviously, there's editing-wise, you've got KDE Live, which is free by the Plasma people. That's fantastic. However, if you're going to switch to Linux and you're going to do editing work, I highly recommend spending 225 quid on DaVinci Resolve. If you buy it, you get all the amazing AI tools that go with it. I don't work for Blackmagic, but it is just a bargain because you can run it on. You can run it on Windows, Mac, the same license, Windows, Mac, Linux. It's just an interchangeable license that goes across 3 platforms. So you can have a Linux machine and your Mac. You get 2 installs of it. The AI tools are amazing. And also when you're on Linux, because MP4 and HVEC have licensing issues. If you get the free version, which is great, you can use the free version, you don't get access to certain codecs because of that. So if you get the proper version, it's fantastic and it does everything you need, and you literally become a Linux powerhouse on here. So what I'm going to do very quickly, I'm going to stop this OBS and then I'll show you why you can having an AI on your desktop is quite clever. So let me just stop this. Stop recording. Start recording. Okay, so I've just stopped and started the recording now. Let's get rid of that screen. Now let's launch Resolve and then I'll show you the cool tools that you can use with it. And obviously if you use my Mint script, it's been downloaded like 4,000 times, so it works. I mean, I've done another for other. I'm working through them. I've done a universal one that sort of works some of the time on some of the systems, but as I go through this, I've got to write a script to get it to work on every single one I show to you guys. So I'm going to do OpenSUSE next, because that's a really interesting operating system. And then I'll work through. So there will in the end be a script for each distro to install Resolve as easily as you can do it here. Anyway, so let's just jump into this. Let's just very quickly pull this up. So the standard Resolve, media pool, and in here should be the video I've just done, and it'll ask for that. So there you go, that's the video I just did, Ollie Mears. And then just create a timeline. I want it 4K. Oh, I know my GPU memory is full, because basically I've just loaded Olama up into it. So I need to, what can I do? Let's just see how we get on with this. Timeline settings. And then we want it to go to 4K. Okay. Let's go on the timeline. Right, so there we are. There's my footage. There's me blathering on. And now, so you can do your edit. You've got all your tools up here. You've got filters, all sorts, title generators. Let's put a title in. Solid color. Pull that back. Don't want to do that. Control Z. Edit, undo, edit, undo, edit, undo. Can't do Control Z. Don't have my keys on this very well. Put that in. Okay, there's a solid color. Pull that over. Got some funky text stuff, effects, not text. You've got all sorts in here to play with. Where's effects, generators? What have we got? Circles, broadcast news. Let's put that over the top. So you've got, what are they called? These are proper names. DVEs, like really old school names. So you click on that, go in here to inspector, and then call this Mint is awesome. And then put that on a new line. And then, so there you go. So you've got that. And you can edit, do what you want, color correction, everything like that. And then you can deliver it. And obviously, because we've got the full-blown version of Resolve in here, we can just click on that, browse, put it out somewhere. Okay. And we can go back out to MP4. Because it's the full Resolve, I've got AV1, H.264, H.265. If you're on an NVIDIA card with an AV1 encoder, and then you're on the free version, all you'll get to play with is AV1, because AV1 has no licensing restrictions. I don't know why it's not been widely adopted by everybody. There's no licensing restrictions on AV1, so everything can be used. That's why Netflix, Amazon, your Netflix streams, you're watching them with AV1 because they don't have to pay licensing. And that's where it came from. Google, Amazon, Netflix all got together and said, we're not going to pay, we don't want to pay H.265, we don't want to pay to license H.264. So AV1 was created, and everybody's off, so it's free. So it's why there's no licensing restriction on it. Anyway, so a bit of background story about why you get that. If the free version of DaVinci Resolve, you'd have to pay. Blackmagic would have to pay to give you the access to those codecs. That's why they just don't exist. So that's why so you always get AV1. So there you go. So that's literally my edit done, and export it from there. So here's the clever bits. So obviously in here my audio is a bit pants. So because I'm speaking to a mic there, so I can just do AI voice isolation. And these are the things, you don't get this in the free version. do AI voice leveler. So as I'm going in and out of the mic like that, this is going to sort of level out my tones. That's great. But then here's the cool bit. So if I click up here, I'm going to transcribe the whole timeline. And there's a reason. Obviously, you just shot your YouTube opus, your Forrest Gump or whatever you've done. And you want to get it onto YouTube. So how do you do it? You sit there for hours and you write tons of stuff about, your description, and you've got the right keywords. And AI can do this in seconds. Because I've just done a voiceover, I know what I've said. So literally just let it do this. And then we'll jump out of Resolve. We'll go back into the AI. And then you can sort of see why it's great having an AI on this. I mean, you can do this in the cloud. I was trying to figure out a way to do it with the free version where you export the audio file, pump it in and do speech to text. So you can do it the same way, but I couldn't figure it out before we shot the video. So there you go. There's my transcription. And I'm just going to export that into there. Okay. And then close that. Come out of Resolve. Yes. Okay. So now I'll go back to Olama. Where's my Olama gone? Programming. Alpaca, sorry. Wait for it to launch up. Here we go. Let's do a new chat. Delete chat. Delete. And we're going to use that one. So from this transcript, create a YouTube video description. I'm not spelling it properly. It's AI, knows what it's saying. Description that is search friendly and give me a good title. And then let's go and find that file. Downloads using video. There's our text file, timeline one. Pop that in there. What he says. It does go. I know it goes. Hang on a minute. Why is it not dragging over? All right, let's go old school. Let's find it that way. Go to video. That one. Open. It varies from distribution to distribution. I get so used to one, I go, it's going to work in that, but maybe it doesn't. So now pump that in now. I think my model's still in memory, so it shouldn't take too long, but I may be making that up because you saw that GPU error. What that is, sat there when I fired it up. So give it a sec here. And what you can do, you can check what's going on with your GPU memory very simply. So there's a quick command. I try not to do all the nerdy shit on here, but nerdy stuff, I didn't mean to swear, nerdy stuff on here, but watch -n.5 NVIDIA -SMI. Okay, so what that does, it's going to every 5.5 of a second, it's going to check what's going on. I think a GPU memory, look at that. Olama's using 13 gigs. And total memory is 16, usable 14. And this is just checking, and it's telling me what's going on in memory. So all of a sudden, okay, this is fired off. This is giving me my nice Linux mint mastery. Gaming, OBS, Resolve, AI workflow, Alpaca, Photoshop alternatives. Exactly what I just said. Description tells me Photoshop, Steam, stay connected. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. So enjoy happy video in Linux. So you can see this on the screen, it's hilarious. So that's it. And then you can do give me the 500 jar tags for the video. And it'll give me the old, when you upload a YouTube video, copy in the tags. Still doing it. Just thinking about that one. Close terminal. I'm going to get rid of that. So yeah, so you just let it do its thing. But you can see, with AI, you've got to be quite careful because you end up spending a lot of money on with these subscriptions. There's tons of these models out there, and you don't need GPT-5 to do something like this. GPT OSS is based off of Chat 3 Mini. I mean, that's like a year old, and the bigger one's 4 mini. And so, you know, you can just download them. You've got a 16 gig card. You can run it locally. It doesn't cost you a penny, apart from your electricity bill. And you'll just get a great result out of it. I mean, there's also that thing I mentioned called Grok. So, I mean, I'm sort of, you know, I cancel your ChatGPT subscription. You don't need it all the time, or you just use the free one when you need it, because you've got this. They're very powerful. And using it in cahoots with DaVinci Resolve, Photoshop and everything, you've got a really good content creator setup. I mean, audio-wise, you think about audio, you've got Fairlight built into Resolve, which is an amazing audio package, and there's tons of free audio packages to play with. I mean, there's a lot for it. It's interesting. Here we go. It's decided to wake up. There's my greater than, less than 500 characters. Okay, so there's my thing. Let's get out of that. So if you go in here, there you go. It just comes straight up. I didn't mean to do that. That was like timing. This is a cross-platform audio editor. So you've got audio tools, free, install it. You've got all sorts of amazing stuff in here. I mean, you've got Blender. If you wanted to do some 3D, you can pop that in as well. Blender's phenomenal. So yeah, so don't expect it. It's a really good installation. If you're coming from Windows or Mac, great place to start off. There's much more, I don't know, not powerful, but more performance related distributions out there, like Catchy, things like that. But this is a great starting point. You could completely set your rig up for next to nothing. I would say spend the money in Resolve, because I mean, that is worth it. You've got a powerhouse production there. But as for the rest of it, it's all free, and it's amazing. And I mean, Mint's not a rolling release, so Mint gets upgraded slowly. So I mean, there's something you should do when you first done all your installation. You should pop into here. There's a clever backup thing. There's a backup thing. I never do it. Firewall. Where is it? There's a backup thing in here that you should do once you've done your initial installation of everything, because the rule of time shift. So let's fire up time shift. So literally, you start there, you do your installation, you get everything you want. I mean, not Steam games, but once everything's working, do a time shift snapshot. So if anything does break in the future, you just go roll back to this. And obviously the key thing is you never ever keep media or projects on your working drive, on your operating system drive, because that's the drive that gets hammered and is the most likely to get failed. So you just don't do that. So you always keep media and everything and projects on external drives away from the main drive. I mean, but this is really cool. And obviously with Resolve, you can back up the database elsewhere, or you can keep it in the cloud. It's up to you. But yeah, so that's it. So Linux Mint, it's really, really cool. It's great. I hope that's helped you. If you wanted to start down your journey to use Linux for post-production, for game playing and just your daily driver, it's a great place to start. Anyway, thanks for watching.